Welcome back, it's Charlie here. Today I'm going to be talking about how I made $5,600 in a 4-day period. Now that is not the impressive part, because if you look at our Stripe, right, just to show you that, there's no fluff going on here. The impressive part is that it's actually $16,500 in contract value, meaning that these clients will pay me time and time again, and that totals to $16,500 in 4 days. Now, in cash collected, it's obviously $5,500, $5,600, around that. But what I'm going to specifically share in this video is a breakdown of the numbers. Now, this is my VA, Trixia. She's absolutely amazing, but essentially you can see the messages here, right? So 20 messages sent, 1 meeting. 15 messages sent, 2 meetings. 30 messages sent, 2 meetings. And what this totals out to be is 155 outbound messages, and I booked 18 sales calls from that, which, if we do the maths right, it's 11.6129% booking rate, and that is unheard of. And in a 62-day period, I managed to book 331 sales calls. Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just sharing what's worked for me and what's working for me right now, because I know that it'll help a lot of you guys out, especially the ones that are struggling with appointment setting and getting clients. So I'm not saying you can do this, but I'm saying that if you apply what I'm going to share, as a secret system in this video, which isn't probably what you've been told to do by other people. So it's going to be exciting. Definitely stay tuned. Now, let's get into this. So in order for this to happen, you need 2 things. The first thing you need is people to want your offer. Now, you're probably thinking in your head, how do I know if what I'm offering is what actually people want, or your ideal clients want? Now, this comes down to 2 things. We've got Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is basically, a pyramid explaining, what the human wants are. But then we've also got the 8 human desires, because it's going to be really simple. Now, I want to say first and foremost, you are not selling what you think you're selling. You're not selling a chatbot. You're not selling automations. You're not selling Facebook ads. You're selling the fact that, yes, that chatbot allows them to have more time, which they can spend with their family or their kids. That is what you're selling. That's the level of depth that you're getting to. Because on the forefront, yes, ads increase their revenue, but it's what that revenue does. For example, getting to 10k per month is probably what you want, or 20k per month, or whatever. But it's not the money you want. It's what that money can do. And that is what you're selling. So the 8 human desires, as long as your service can, remove pain, which comes from, not having money, or improves the enjoyment of their life, that could be a chatbot, because it saves them time where they can spend that time, actually doing stuff they like to do. That is what you're selling, and that is how you need to position your offer. So the next thing you need is a niche. Now, more importantly, you need to visualize your ideal client profile. Now, what I mean by this is the closer we can see I'm trying to phrase this in a way that isn't confusing, but in life, the closer you can visualize your ideal situation, the more likely it is to happen. Now, it's a bit complicated to explain, but what I want you to do is I want you to list out the attributes you want when working with your ideal client. For example, let's say you're working with lawyers. Not all lawyers can, or want your service. Some lawyers don't. So what you could do is you could list out, you want them to be a lawyer, but you also want them to, be busy working overtime, which means they can't spend time with their family. But you also maybe want that client to be open-minded, who are interested in your service. The closer we can visualize, and once again, maybe you've got a demographic of, age you want them to be. Like, when you can visualize your client, you're much more likely to attract that client. It's a bit confusing, but trust me, it works. Now, once you've got your offer, and you've got your niche, or more importantly, your avatar, which is basically all the attributes you want for a client, we then need to do this one simple thing. And I promise you, I'm going to get into the technical, the actual details of how I did this in a funnel and everything else. But I just need you to understand this first, because a lot of people focus on the output. Now, this is a quote by Marcus Aurelius. I think it was from the book Meditations. But if you're not going to listen to me, please listen to someone that freaking conquered Rome, like literally a Roman emperor. So he basically said, at every moment, keep a sturdy mind on the task at hand. As a Roman and human being, doing it with strict and simple dignity, affection, freedom, and justice, giving yourself a break from all other considerations. You can do this if you approach each task as it is your last, giving up every distraction, emotional subversion or reason, and all drama, vanity, and complaint over your fair share. You can see how mastery over a few things makes it possible to live an abundant and devout life. 4. If you keep watch over these things, the gods won't ask for more. Now, I cannot control how many meetings I book. I cannot control how much money I make this month. But what I can control are the systems and the inputs I put in place that can deliver that. Because luck, you could argue this is luck, but I would argue it's predictability, and predictability comes from systems. So we can control the inputs, and that's what we need to focus on, the day-to-day actual throughput we're doing in a system. Now, we need to let the system do the work, not you. So a lot of people on YouTube, and there's nothing wrong with cold calls, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn DMs. They work. Every system works. But it comes a point where there are more effective ones than other. And when we can combine what I'm going to share in this video, so definitely keep watching, it's going to be insanely powerful, and it's going to attract a ton of your ideal clients. So, and by the way, this works for whatever you're selling. Yes, there are certain niches that this works best in, like coaches, consultants, agency owners, but it also works for e-com. It also works for real estate. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's the same philosophy. Now, the problem with cold calls and DMs is that the amount of units of value you can supply to a person is kind of limited, meaning that it is sort of one-to-one. For example, a cold call, you're only speaking to one person. However, if we do Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube content, the same message can be sent to thousands of people. And yet, from a leverage point of view, it may take me a few hours to make a YouTube video, but it can be seen by, like, imagine I'd have to do 1,000 cold calls or 1,000 Facebook DMs. That would take me like 72 hours, more probably, like a week. Whereas I can get the same amount of attention to my offer, and I can provide the same units of value for literally like an hour or two work. Think about that. It's crazy. So basically, what this video is going to be focused on is, it's going to be technical and it's going to be interesting, and I promise you'll learn a lot, but we need to give people what they want before we can receive. Now, abundance is a dance with reciprocity. What we can give, what we can share, and what we receive in the process. We need to be giving as much of what people want every single day as possible. So what this is going to look like. Now, there's benefits, and it's not just booking meetings you're going to get from this. It's going to be authority. It's going to warm a prospect up. They're going to know who you are. So when they speak with you on a sales call, yeah, they know who you are and they trust you, which is what we want. But if we're just doing, so what this actually helps is if we're doing the cold calls, IG, Facebook, LinkedIn DMs, it's also going to benefit us, in addition to reaching thousands of other people, because we can send our videos to the people that we book through these different platforms. But let's just talk about this. So the long form strategy, and it's going to be at the top of the funnel. This could be YouTube, it could be LinkedIn. I think of long form, anything over 10 minutes. Now, what this looks like is, this is the concept. A stranger, you need to get their attention. Now, you could get their attention by sending them a Instagram message, a LinkedIn message, or you could post to YouTube or TikTok. But it's the same principle, right? This is how a system works. You get someone's attention. You need to educate that attention, reciprocity, give them something for free. You need to own that attention, and then you have to convert that attention. So each different step needs a different sort of strategy. So, and I'll explain this in a minute. So first of all, we need to get their attention. Now, this can be done through, obviously inbound and outbound or push marketing, but let's just talk about long form content. Units of value. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to upload long form content 3 times a week with no exception. Now, this content is going to be just helping your niche. If you're working with real estate, it's going to be giving them something for free. Just like this, but tailor it to your niche. For example, I work with coaches, consultants, and agency owners, so I'm making this video to help you guys. Now, I don't expect anything back from you. I just want to say that first and foremost. I made this video to generally help as many people as possible, but you're going to do this from a standpoint, and once again, you're focusing on the inputs here, not the outputs, because you can't control the amount of subscribers, you can't control the views, you can't control. That's in the other algorithm's hands. You can't control that, but what you can control is the input, and that's going to be 3 times a week. And then in addition, you can also do your IG DMs, Facebook DMs. This should be in addition to what you're already doing. It's just a new way of thinking that I want you to sort of do. So once you upload 3 times a week, it could be YouTube, it could be whatever, you're going to have 3 different ways that the person could go. Ideally, you want to get them into a free community. This could be a free Facebook group. This could be a free school group. This could be a free Discord. It could be whatever you want. Now, depending on, once again, your niche, you're going to have to adapt. If you're working with older people, then why not create a free Facebook group for realtors or for roofing companies or whatever, because they're an older demographic compared to like Discord, if you know what I mean. So once again, it depends on your niche, but your top of the funnel, your content gets them to either go to a free community where they can get more value, you're giving them more stuff, they're either going to follow you on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and that's an engaged lead, or they can directly book through your video. Now, if they go to your free community, it could be a Facebook group, like we just discussed, you're going to give them more free value, and you're going to nurture that lead, because it's already an engaged lead. You need to, once again, you need to go back to this, now you've got their attention, you need to educate that attention, and we've owned their attention, because I sort of think owning attention is when you've got them in one place. So for example, a Facebook group or a school group, a free school group, you've got your ideal client in one place that you can now message. And that is how I was able to do this. Let me go up here. God, there's a lot of images. But that is how I can get a VA to go through that group and have a 11.6% booking rate. Because I've captured the attention, I've educated my attention, and then I've owned it by putting them in one place that I can now message. So this is just doing what the opposite of probably what you've been taught to do. And this is how effective it is. So essentially, now let's talk about systemizing this whole thing. So you've got the content, they could do 3 things. For example, let's say they follow you on other platforms, you can own their attention, you can keep promoting your videos, and it acts as a feedback loop. So not only do we have your clients or ideal clients in one place where we can now message, we can now also post our content up here as a feedback loop. So then they see more of our content, and eventually how it works is they get curious and they book a call. Now, if you have that call, now do they buy the call? And you should do this for every sales call you have. If the prospect is a good fit and you can't close them, you need to add them to a workflow. It could be through Instantly, it could be through High Level, it could be an SMS campaign and an email campaign. And then you're going to send them an email twice a week until they eventually buy or book another call. And then the last resort is after like months, if they haven't bought your product, you can then give them something for free to get them interested, revive them basically. But what you'll notice is this is about systemizing your business. Having systems in place that all I need to do now is do this. Because I've systemized this. They go into the community, my VA messages them, and this is how easy it is to win. Like, I'm not doing the cold calls or the LinkedIn messages myself. I focus on what can move the needle in my business, and that's why you need to stop doing the low ROI tasks like messages yourself and get someone to do it for you, like a trained setter. We've got trained setters. That's why we do it. Because as a business owner, sending messages is literally like a $5 an hour job. Why are you going to be doing that when you can focus on the things that actually move the needle in your business? So all I need to do is be at the top of the funnel and produce this. And once I've done this, I don't even need to do this now. And right now, you're probably like, I assume you watching this right now, you don't know where your next client is going to come from. which is scary. And I once was in that position, and I know how it feels. It's unpredictable. You don't really have a consistent way of getting meetings or clients, whereas I do, because I've built assets in the form of long form videos, in the form of my Instagram, and that is what you need to focus on. And despite what you've been told, because yeah, you've probably been told the wrong thing by other YouTubers. But we live in a content sort of economy right now. So I definitely recommend hopping on it before, everyone does it, and then the same thing happens. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I can now predictably get as many meetings as I want because I've got assets, I've got communities, I've got followers, subscribers, and that's how it works. And I really hope you can do the same thing and you actually apply what I'm going to tell you, because yeah, it's one thing me giving you this information, and what I think one of my favorite quotes is, yeah, you don't have an information problem, you've got an application problem. You aren't doing the work. You're avoiding it. And a good way of knowing what you should be focusing your time and energy on is ask yourself right now, what scares you the most in your business? And whatever comes to your mind, that is what you should be doing. If it's cold calls, great. Now you know what you should be doing. If it's creating content, putting your face on the camera, that is, what you should be doing. And the reason, and it's really important you understand this, the reason it's scary to do is because it's the thing that's going to drive the most results. And by getting the most results, it's going to change you as a person. Because if I gave you $10,000 a month, or if I gave you 20 clients right now, that would change you, and it would change your life, and it would change. And the brain and body don't like change. That's homeostasis. You should have learned that in biology. But that's sort of my way of overcoming resistance, of when I really don't feel like I want to do the work, whether it be outbound, inbound, whatever it is. I remind myself that the reason I'm facing this, resistance is because it's the thing that's gonna actually get me the most results. And by getting me the most results, it's gonna change me. And yeah, that sort of makes me do the work, because now I'm like, look, I just need to push through this. It's gonna be the thing that's gonna actually drive success. And I do that by, yeah, literally focusing on the inputs. Because if I only focus on the output of booking meetings, then it's going to change what I would do for the input. So yeah, enjoy the process. Like, don't don't be like, I understand, like, not having clients, not having meetings. It's like you probably have a bit of pain, and you may think that once you get to 10K per month, your life will be solved. But I think money over a certain amount doesn't actually make any difference. Like, if you can pay your bills, if you can pay for food, like any other money on top of that, I don't think it's gonna help. But I'm not telling you that to make you not want to do the work. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because I want you to enjoy the process. Like, enjoy the day-to-day tasks. And when you are really busy, what I think about, I don't think about, oh, I didn't get any results today, because as an agency owner and an entrepreneur, the work you put in today, you're going to reap the rewards in like months down the road, like 6 months. So when I have a busy day and I don't get anything from it, I don't make any money, I think like, oh my God, this is going to be great in 6 months or a year, when I do see the results from the work I did today. And that's just down to latency and, sort of, yeah, the buffer. Yeah, it's called like outreach buffer, or yeah, that kind of stuff. But that's how it works. So essentially, we've used Apple's framework here. They've got the biggest market cap in the entire world in terms of company, of 2.7 trillion, and it's just because they own attention. Like in order for you to go on your phone, you have to have a phone. Like, it's pretty smart, but we can do the same thing by doing this. And let's say, like, my point is that you need to think outside the box, and we're in a content economy right now. But like, let's say you're doing outbound, which you shouldn't really be doing. You should have someone to do it for you, to push the volume so we can increase, because you only have a certain amount of time and energy during the day. And if you want to scale the fastest, then we need to put as much throughput and inputs into the system as possible. But yeah, like, another way of thinking about this is you can also leverage other people's audience. Like, think about it. Let's say your niche is real estate. If you are really smart and you want to message people who haven't been messaged before, and you want to get the attention of your ideal clients, you could quite easily go on Facebook, find a paid community of realtors, if that's your niche, pay for it. It'll be like $50 to $100 a month, and then you've got thousands of your ideal clients in one place who you can message and potentially get clients from. And they probably haven't been messaged before because everyone or the agency owners in your niche just always, go on like Apollo or LeadSwift, and they reach out to the same database. Whereas if you, like, my point is that do what people aren't doing and you'll win. That's just an easy way of, reverse engineering success. But do the opposite of what most people are doing. Think, uniquely about what you can do. Whether it's paying for, to get into your ideal, a place where your ideal clients are. That's one idea. But yeah, hopefully this explains it, and why you should be putting content out there, because even if you're doing Instagram and Facebook DMs, which is great, you probably should be doing that as well as this from an inbound perspective. It's great to combine both. So you can send the people you're doing these DMs, you can send them your content, they can get educated, and then you can convert that attention. Hopefully this video helped. I've got videos on this channel, about every topic you could probably, need in terms of growing an agency. So yeah, hopefully this video helped. If you want a trained VA to sort of, take away the pain of having to manually do, these Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn DMs, then I've got trained setters. I don't know if it'll be applicable to you, which is why I'll need to speak with you directly. So if you're looking to scale and you're looking to sort of get the fastest possible results as soon as possible, then book a call. It'll be the first link in the description. I might put it in the comment section as well. And you can speak with me directly. A low pressure call, just discovering, what you're doing, and, if we can help, because some agencies we can, some we can't, depending on what, you do. But yeah, hopefully this video helped. Check out my other content if you want more free game. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have an amazing day.